Thanks so much to the Creative Europe Media Desk, who have been our supporters in all these years. If I am saying this, it is because the Confédération Internationale de Cinéma AREC, the CICAE in short, has been supported during the existence of its training program, now reaching its 19th edition by Creative Europe Media and the media desks all over the world. So thank you very much for being with us. Before we would start to speak, I would much rather like you to get an impression of how a training is in Venice and with what impressions and what hopes our participants arrive. Maybe you will feel like one of them already. So we would like to share with you a short video made by Francesco Clerici.
My colleague was here 10 years ago and he's been telling me for the past 5 years that I should apply.
I heard about the training via my company because my boss actually asked me if I want to come here, and then I honestly had to check out this whole training program because I'm not so long in the cinema industry so far. So
my colleague did the training 2 years ago when as a cinema we became a member of the CICAE. So she came in 2017 and did the executive training, and then I applied for the junior last year.
The reason that I applied for here is because at this moment I'm from Oxford Cinema from Amsterdam, and at this moment we are renovating one of our cinemas, and so everything is very new.
I hope you've got to see already a little bit of Venice, even if very little. As I told you before, this year we are aiming of putting up the 19th edition of a training that has brought myself even to the CICAE. Almost everyone, or at least half of the team every year is consisting of people who have already come out of this training and have benefited from networking and learning from it. Traditionally, this has been a very intensive one-week training covering all essential aspects of Arthouse cinema exhibition, and this is our beautiful visual introducing to you what we have prepared for you this year by the artist Julia Prashpa. As you see, we are having two kinds of focus this year. So up until now, we had the Art Cinema is Action and Management Program, an international residential training program for art house exhibitors taking place in Venice. As I told you, it was 1 week, very intensive, dedicated to two kinds of participants that we call juniors and executives, depending on their experience within the industry. Now, we have found that juniors and executives is maybe not the best description for our participants, but maybe a better way to look at it is what their needs are. And there are some exhibitors, younger exhibitors, who are trying to get an overview of everything that art house exhibition means as a work. And they need an overview from everything, going through what cinema is as a space, how to speak with the audience, how to do digital marketing and use data, how to establish programming, how to develop a green cinema, and the technological needs around it, and have an overview of what it is. But there are also participants who have been working in the industry for a longer time and who might need some support over a longer period of time in changing something in the way they are working in their cinemas. So this is why, as of this year, we have split the two groups, not into juniors and executives, but participants of a 1 week intensive residential training in Venice, the way it was traditionally for the juniors, for 35 participants, who beyond learning about all these essentials of art house exhibition will also participate in a workshop called Restart Your Cinema and they are going to work on a 5-year plan for restarting or opening a cinema. And then there will be a parallel program, a mentoring program for 15 Arthouse exhibitors who will be accompanied by a mentor, but also exchange with their peers already starting in April, having then online sessions from April to September, but also according to what they are trying to rework in their cinema, going also to personal meetings. To give you a little bit a more concrete understanding of what this means, as I said, there is the residential training in Venice. It lasts 1 week. It means that the participants would have a very intense week with sessions and workshops, lectures and exercises and roundtables that go on from morning until quite late in the afternoon. But they would also have access to a set of online resources and blueprint documents that can be very useful for their everyday work. So they would get, for example, a budget sheet prepared by one of our trainers, or documents or ideas for how to set up a crowdfunding process, or how to do an audience research when they want to decide on the changes they want to make in their cinemas. And they will also do the workshop that I mentioned. So in small groups, they are going to work on a plan, a 5-year plan of restarting a cinema, and pitch that plan in front of a professional jury at the very end of the week, getting feedback for improvements and ideas for those new cinemas. And this is the new part now that we are adding on to it, is the mentoring program. So as I told you, it will be running from April to September. They would be 3 groups. So we would receive 15 mentees in 3 small groups of 5 people each, along the topics of diversity, green cinema, and business innovation. So on diversity, we would like to work with participants who are looking into how to develop and diversify their audiences, to work with young audiences, or developing more inclusive programmings. On green cinema, developing green practices by setting up a policy and improving the operations sustainability, because this is really important and all the cinemas will have to do this and go through it. Or business innovation, if they are looking to upgrade their business models, change them, and have a better view on the changes of the film market. So as I told earlier, they would have 6 months of online follow-up, but depending on the topic or the focus chosen, they would have a in-person meeting either in Sevilla in April for the diversity programming group, or in Sofia at Sofia Meetings, the industry program of the festival, for the green cinema topics, or at the Sarajevo Cinelink Industry Days in August. These would be the locations of meeting for the topical groups, but it doesn't mean that everyone else in the program wouldn't be able to follow up on it in a hybrid or online way. And then everyone, meaning the residential program participants and the mentoring program participants, would meet in Venice to allow for exchanges and of experience about what they've developed, but also to have a networking session that gives them a broad view about the exhibition sector. The residential training, the intensive week, would be taking place in Venice from the 29th of August to the 4th of September on San Servolo Island in Venice, this magical place you've seen in the videos. And the mentoring program will be a hybrid format with online session, but also group sessions in 4 different cities. So in Sevilla, Spain, in Sofia, Bulgaria, and Sarajevo, Bosnia-Herzegovina, with the big meetup in Venice for everyone. Who can apply? I try to focus already on the needs of participants when describing them. For residential training is suitable either for young art house exhibitors and operators who are more at the beginning of their career, let's say, or someone who is interested into moving into the exhibition sector. But it could be also someone who just wants to get the total overview of cinema exhibition in order to get inspiration for restarting or opening their own cinema. And then there is the mentoring program, which we thought is the most useful for art house exhibitors who have to revise, change something in their cinema, and they are experienced exhibitors, but who have to work on some specifics more strongly and who can benefit from in-depth sessions and an accompanying mentor. We have separate applications and deadline in this specific case or this year to be able to start the mentoring program. We would have now a deadline on the 25th of March. That's in a little bit above 2 weeks that we are receiving applications, and for the residential training in Venice by the 15th of April.
The name of this program was a little bit different. 2017, it was Art Cinema Action and Management program, and I was actually asked for my boss to apply. I think it is important because I was kind of at the beginning of my cinema experience. I had only 1 year cinema experience. So at the time, I thought I already knew a little bit about the film industry and about the independent cinemas in Germany, but I need to say it from today's perspective. Of course, I know that it wasn't the case. Like, I had no idea. I was totally beginner, and I just noticed this also during the program and during the stay in Venice. So as you might expect, I had a bit of learning shock there, and I felt also a little bit overwhelmed. Maybe if I had gone there like with 2 years experience, cinema work experience, it wouldn't felt so uninformed for me. Of course, it wasn't also like a nice feeling, but I just felt that I wasn't prepared enough 2017. But I also need to say that the whole atmosphere of the training and also openness of both sides, like from the participants and from the organizers, helped me a lot in this specific situation. I think the most inspiring thing was meeting these people, like meeting really a lot of different people from different countries. Very creative and also very committed people, and also to hear the success stories, because we also had this opportunity. We had this also in our panel. This is the booklet from 2017, which means, of course, that both like mission and also financial success is possible, and it's very good to know. That was inspiring. And the most important topics, I think, for me were the parts about economic and financial planning, because at the beginning, I had really no idea about anything. But this is still something I need to learn more about. And the existence of these topics in the cinema industry, like for cinema owners, this knowledge kind of that we should take care of it, like better, maybe even better, was something I needed to know. Take part at this training, at another things, at another workshops, because it will pay off.
Quite many of our alumni have joined the CICAE as a member afterwards, and have been participating in our activities. So in that case, they officially join the Association of Arthouse Cinemas. Hannah, for example, has been on one of our juries just recently last year.